Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to keep this intro short because we've got a long video. I'm going to teach you how to crochet this Lacy beach bag. Really fun project. I've been working on it for a long time for you guys. I think you're going to love it. This is a more advanced beginner project, so just keep that in mind. But I go through all the steps. I go through everything really slowly so that you can follow along. The written instructions will also have the children's version in the written instructions where I have the strap rather than the handles if you prefer the strap look to the bag. The written instructions will be over on my blog, melaniekhamm.com, so definitely go check those out. As always, if you like my channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, you can leave those in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this video, and happy stitching. All right, let's get started on the construction of our beach bag. This is a cotton yarn. It's a worsted weight yarn. I'm going to be using a J hook, which is what the package recommended. You can use any kind of cotton yarn that you like, or those kind of like t-shirt yarns. I recommend a natural fiber or something that's going to really hold up well in the wash and also not get the sand like stuck in it if you're going to put it in the sand. I feel like a lot of the acrylic fuzzy type of yarns, the sand's just going to get stuck in there. So have that help you determine your yarn choice. Slip knot. This pattern, because of the lacy nature of it, this is probably more of an advanced beginner project. The multiples need to be a multiple of 6 plus 3. So I'm going to do a chain of 75 for my bag, and you can adjust the size. Just make sure it's a multiple of 3. So 72 is a multiple of 6. So 72 is a multiple of 6 plus 3 is a total of 75. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how the foundation chain is looking. So go ahead and make your foundation chain your desired size. Mine will be 75. Okay, here is my foundation chain, which is measuring about 22 inches long. So I want you guys to refer to the PDF version or the written instructions. Everything will be linked and listed out for you in the description box down below. If you are on a desktop device, you'll see show more underneath the video. You can click that and it will open up. If you're on a mobile device, there's a little arrow to the right of the title of the video. If you click on that, all of those links will open up. This is going to be one of those things where you do have to do a little bit of counting and make sure that you're following along with the pattern. I will also draw out a chart for you. I feel like that's really helpful for me when I'm learning how to read patterns and do certain projects. So I will draw that out on graph paper for you so that you see the chart. Okay, so we've done 75. Now what we need to do is 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the 6th chain from the hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. And with this foundation chain, it's going to be kind of important to kind of keep your hook around here, kind of use your thumb and your middle finger to keep that all in place. Otherwise, you'll get some really stretched out foundation chain holes. So there was 1 double crochet, another double crochet in the same chain, yarn over 2, and 2. The foundation chain on these types of patterns is always the trickiest part. Then once you get going, it's nice and quick. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then another 2 double crochet in the same chain. So the same guy right here, another 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2. Now we are going to continue this exact same thing going all the way down the foundation chain, but we're going to do 5 chains in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, insert another 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in this stitch here. Okay, so we're going to make the same exact 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, 5 chains in between, going all the way down your foundation chain. Be sure to refer to your written instructions, and when I get down to the end, I will meet you there. All right, now for the moment of truth. You need to have 3 chains after you are done with this, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3. Yahoo! I did it right. Okay, so this is how your foundation chain is looking. When you get down to here, you're going to skip these 2 chains, and then we're going to put a double crochet in the last guy. So let's yarn over, put that double crochet here. All right, there we go. Hardest part is done. Once you get past that first pass, then the rest of it's a little bit easier to hold on to it and all that. So now we are going to turn our work, which just means that we're going to flip it, and then we're going to be now crocheting always right to left. Chain 1. We are going to single crochet in the first double crochet. So right here where we had this double crochet, we're going to single crochet in here, which is insert your hook and right underneath this first stitch here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to double crochet in the chain 2 space here, this like hole. So we're going to double crochet, which is yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, 2 loops. So, then we're going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we need to come down here, and we're going to do a single crochet. So I just insert my hook right here underneath, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops, single crochet. Then repeat. 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the chain 2 space, just 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet here where those shells kind of connect. All right, so now go ahead and do that all the way down. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, here's how it's looking. So we did our chain 3, single crochet. We got to finish up. 1, 2, 3, double crochet in our chain 2 space. One, 2, 3, and then we need to single crochet to finish it up, and we're going to do that at the top of the turning chain over here. So right over here, find that top stitch of the turning chain, pull through both loops for a single crochet. Okay, so we finished with that single crochet. Now we're going to turn our work and chain 4, which is going to count as a treble stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then don't even worry about this chain 3. What we're gonna do is do the same initial kind of like shell where we did 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. We're gonna put that shell right in the top of this double crochet. Okay, so we did our chain 4. Don't even worry about this like chain 3 guy. And we're gonna go ahead and insert our hook, yarn over, insert in the top of that double crochet. We're gonna do 1 double crochet, another double crochet, all in the same stitch. Chain 2, and then another 2 double crochet in the same stitch here. That's the top of that double crochet. Now, all you need to do is from the end of this one, we are going to just go ahead and start the next little double crochet shell over here. And I know it seems like that's a long way to go, but just trust me, okay? So skip this, skip this, skip this, and we're just gonna go right over to that next double crochet and do our next little 2 double crochet. So there's 1, here's 2, chain 2, 1, 2, 2 double crochet in the same spot. And referring to the written instructions and the chart that I drew out for you is going to be really helpful if this is a little bit confusing. But you can see how that's turning out. Skip this chain 3, skip the single crochet, skip the next chain 3, and we're going to go ahead and place another one of these in the top of that double crochet. And we're going to do that all the way down. We have reached the end of row, I guess 3 it is. We did the chain 4 at the beginning of this row, which counted as our treble stitch. So because it's like kind of a taller row of stitches, so we need to do a treble stitch in this single crochet here in order to finish it out. Okay, so treble is yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, and that finishes out that row. Okay, so there we have the beginning of our bag, and now we're going to just go back and repeat those rows. So for, once we're done, this is the shell row and then the chain row. That's kind of how I like to think of it in my own mind, so I don't have to keep looking at the pattern when I'm sitting on the couch and working on it. So we just finished our shell row, so now we need to do the chain row. Okay, so you're going to chain 1, single crochet in the top of this treble stitch, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet, just like we did before. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single, chain 3. So that'll be our chain row. Let's get this row started, and then I'll show you the ending of this next row one more time, just for kicks, and make sure that we're on the right track here. So remember, chain 1, we need a single crochet here, insert our hook, single crochet, and you'll notice the chain rows go super fast. 1, 2, 3, double crochet here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet here. Okay, do that all the way down. I'll meet you at the end and refresh your memory. The starting and the ending of the row is really the hardest part, right? Leave me a comment down below if that's what you think the hardest part of watching videos and learning patterns is. I feel like this middle section, pretty much most people get the hang of. It's the starting and the stopping that's the hardest part. So let me know in the comment section if you agree. Double crochet in the chain 2 space, 1, 2, 3, and then remember we need to single crochet in the turning chain. Okay, so remember, you need to end your row the way you started it. So we started it with our single crochet over here, so we need to end it with a single crochet in case you forget. That's kind of a good way to think about it. So we find the top of that turning chain, and we're gonna put a little single crochet in there. All right, so now this was our chain row that we just finished. Now we need to do our shell row. Our shell row is a taller row, so we need our treble stitch to get all the way up there, right? So we're going to turn our work, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as our treble. So remember, we're going to end with the treble. And then we are going to be placing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the top of all of these double crochets all the way around, right? So see, you're getting the hang of it. The cool thing about this project is that it does work up pretty quickly. So remember, this is our shell row. There's 2, chain 2. And then remember, we just go from shell to shell all the way down. No need to do any other stitching in between there. So here is this guy. Remember, we finished that guy. Don't worry about any of these chain 3s or any of that stuff in between. Just go right over to the next double crochet and do your next shell. Okay, so let's take a look at it here. I am going to leave you to it. So go get comfortable and happy crocheting. All right, so now we have our 2 panels, and what I ended up doing was just using 1 skein of yarn, so one of these guys per panel. That sizing seemed to be working out with the proportions. So you want to make 2 of those because we're going to place them together and we're going to sew around the outside edge. Mine are about 16 inches wide by 17 inches tall. So what I'm going to do is, this is how much I have left on this panel. So I went ahead and I tied this one off. And what we're going to do is actually, these are our right sides. So I'm going to place our right sides together, or our wrong sides together, so that the right sides are on the outside of the bag. This is the game plan, okay? We are going to slip stitch the 2 sides together, down the side, across the bottom, back up the side, okay? Then I am going to use these handles that I bought at my local craft store. And what we're going to do is we're going to crochet some little straps that we can put through these grooves here, and then attach them with a button. And I wanted to do it that way because I wanted to be able to take it off of these and wash this, because if it's at the beach, it's at the pool, it might get messy with food or sand or sunscreen or whatever. So I wanted it to be, you could take these off. This is a totally optional step. I will also have included it in the instructions, and I'll mention it when I'm creating the straps. If you want to make a longer strap and just create with the remaining yarn that you have, you can do this whole bag with just 3 of these little balls of cotton yarn. You can just do a crocheted strap and sew that onto the bag as well. Totally up to you, but I thought that this color wood really went well with it. I thought it'd be cute. Let's get a little bit closer. I'm going to show you how we're going to slip stitch it around. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch down, and I went ahead and used some clover clips to just attach everything and line everything up nicely so that I don't have to worry about staying on track that way. And a slip stitch, I'm just going to bring it through this corner piece, yarn over. Okay, so we're going to insert the hook, yarn over, pull that loop through the loop on the hook. Oh, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, pull through. Make sure you are getting the front and the back panel, because we want this to be nice and secure so that we can put all our stuff in there. Okay, that's how it's looking. It's going to close up the bag. So go ahead and finish that up. go all the way down, do the same technique. You're gonna go all the way down, all the way across, and then back up to the top. And then I will meet you back here. Also, one of the things I wanted to note, I ended on the shell row. So that way that's the top of the bag. Go ahead and finish sewing up your sides. I am back up here on the side. We are gonna finish this up. Slip stitch. And for this last one, I'm actually gonna get really in the actual stitch, not just in the hole, because I wanna make sure that it's really secure. So I'm going in through both of those. Gonna slip stitch. All right, and then we can trim it off. Leave enough of a tail to weave it in. Give a nice good tug on that. So we'll use a yarn needle and weave this in later. We have got the beginnings of our bag, yay! Okay, so now all the sides are all done. You can see, and quick note, in the bottom, the gaps were a little bit larger because of that foundation chain. So when I slip stitched, I didn't just slip stitch in the hole, I slip stitched in the foundation chain just to make sure that it was really secure. All right, let's attach our straps. Hey everyone, so I've moved ahead a little bit. We've got our bag here, and then these are the straps that are used with a button to keep the handles on the bag. You do not have to use handles if you don't want to. You can also crochet the strap, like a nice long strap, to go from like side to side like that. So that's an option as well. It's going to be the exact same pattern. I'm going to show you right now how to make the straps. It's going to be the exact same pattern. You'll just keep going and do it for as long as you want to make your strap, depending on how long you want it to sit on your body when you're holding it. So this is how I'm just giving you an idea of what it's going to look like here. I sew the strap onto the back up through here, and then we've got a buttonhole that we can take off to wash. Since if this is going to be at the beach or at the farmer's market, it may need to be washed at some point. So let's make our straps. This is how it looks beforehand. And here's our little loop. In order to start, we're going to start with a slip knot. I'm going to go through this really quick because if you've already been able to make this much of the bag, this will be easy peasy for you. Chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Half double crochet. So we're going to go the second chain from the hook, half double crochet, which is yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 3 loops. So we'll do that all the way across. So here we are at the last chain from our foundation chain. Half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches because we came in 1 stitch. So from now on, make sure you've got 8 stitches in each row, and that will help you figure out that you're staying on track. We're going to chain 1, flip our work, half double crochet in this first stitch here, all 3 loops. Okay, and then I'll meet you at the end and I'll show you what the end looks like so you don't skip any stitches. Okay, at the end, we've got 2 guys left there. 1, 2. Right here, yarn over all 3 loops, and that's not the end. See, there's still another guy out there to get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so then you'll chain 1, turn your work, and just continue that until you have reached either your smaller strap size or the longer strap size. The smaller strap is going to be 5 inches. The longer strap that I did as a sample is 27 inches if you want to do that instead of the little guys. So once you have done your strap and you hit 5 inches, we're going to create this little buttonhole. So 5 inches. Now we are going to slip stitch, which is insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then continue pulling through the loop that was already on your hook. So you're going to insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, continue pulling through. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay, then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 2 stitches and we're going to continue slip stitching for the remaining stitches. Right here is the last one. Now before you tie anything off, determine whatever button you've chosen, make sure it's going to fit. Okay, so that does fit. Make sure it's a snug fit because we want it to stay on. So if that is the case, then you can cut your yarn over and just pull that through, give it a tug, and now it's ready to sew onto our bag. When we're sewing onto our bag, I just pulled out some coordinating thicker, this is like a size 12 thread for putting my buttons on. It can be standard thread as well, but something that's nice and strong will be helpful. A needle with a large eye that you can use for a thicker thread. This is kind of like more of a tapestry style needle, so you need one of these. So we'll sew the button on with that smaller needle and thread because that needle needs to be able to go through, you know, your button holes. Then we're gonna sew the crochet onto the back side, but we're gonna do that with the yarn tail and a yarn needle. Before we sew these onto the bag, I want you to weave in the tail with the button loop side. So we're going to weave that in, but we're going to use this tail to sew it on. So you can just leave that one alone. And when we're weaving in, you want to go on the back side and use your yarn needle and just sort of weave everything in, go back and forth so everything is hidden and secure, so that if you want to wash it at some point, you won't have a bunch of things getting unraveled. So just take it and go back and forth. Once it's secure enough, you can just trim off the tail. So my bag is 16 inches wide, meaning 8 inches is the center point, which means 4 inches is the center point over here. So what we want to do, I am measuring 4 inches, and it's 4 rows down that we're going to put the button. So 4 of the shell rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here in this part, you can go ahead and start sewing your button. Did put a knot at the end of my string, which almost doesn't matter because it'll just come right through that yarn. So what you want to do is bring it up basically just like sewing on a regular button. Bring it up, and then right when you feel it sort of give a little where the knot is, if you pull too hard, it'll just pull it right through. So then just go ahead and go right back down on the other side. And then go right back up. That way we can get a secure hold. So don't go too easy on this. We want to make sure that it's really secure because it's what's going to be holding your bag together with those straps. So really make sure that you feel confident that it's going to be secure. Okay, then we'll flip it around. You can see where we put the thread down a bunch of times, and we will thread the needle through there, pull it till it's going to be a slight loop, and then put your needle through that, create a couple of knots. Same thing, don't go too easy. We want to make sure that it is secure. So I do maybe 4 knots kind of going in different directions. And now we can trim. Now that that is attached, we can sew on our strap. So we're going to take the side without the buttonhole, and that's going to be, just line it up directly above, and we are going to sew that onto the second row of our shell stitches on the inside of our bag. So here's our shell stitches. That's just the bulkier part. That way we've got enough to grip onto. Thread your yarn needle. So make sure that when you're sewing it, you're just keeping all of your yarn from the needle on the inside part of the bag because we don't want to see it on the front. So we brought it up through. We'll go back down, grab a few loops from the back side of the bag and bring that back up through our strap. And we're going to keep doing that. Remember, same thing. Make sure you feel confident that it's secure. It is going to be on the inside of your bag, so you won't be able to see it, but you do still want it to look neat and tidy. And then when you get to the end, we need to weave in this one. Weave in the tail, make sure everything is really secure. So go ahead and do that. So then once that's done, we will feed it through the strap. Bring it down and put the button loop over our button. If you wanted to use the longer strap, you would still sew it onto your bag. I would sew it probably onto the inside of the bag right about here. And I would just do 1 strap going over, or you could do 2 straps. And if you did 2 straps, then you want to lay it like this. And then you could sew it to the outside or the inside. But if you do it to the inside, just keep in mind, you don't want, like the bag flopping over. So you'll want to sew it so that you can see that cute little scallop. So whichever way you wanted to do it. But that's how I would do it with the single strap. Otherwise, what? I mean, it's done.